is Rock Kabako of MASNsports.com. And Rock, great to see you here via Zoom. And let's start right now with Rio Ruiz back in the Orioles lineup tonight, playing third base. And obviously that means his shoulder's feeling better?
It is. And you know what's kind of funny? I don't know if this makes sense. I feel like more people appreciate Rio Ruiz's value to this club while he was on the bench than he was on the field. I mean, how many times did we hear, man, they really miss Rio at third base? I don't know how often that's been stated in the past, but it really showed in these past few games when he was out with the sore shoulder. We know how well he's been hitting. He hit in spring training. Now he's 7 for 22, 3 home runs. We know that. But it's that reliability at third base that they were really missing in that series with the Marlins. I mean, his range, dependability. Renato Nunez played a couple games at third. He has a cannon for an arm, but he has some accuracy issues he's still working on, especially when he's on the move. And then we saw Pat Valaika last night again, where he made a poor throw and then later on couldn't get to a ball, hit to his left, got past them in the late innings. Dwight Smith Jr. compounded the problem by overrunning the ball. The inning fell apart. So I know there are people in the organization that really are happy that Ruiz is healthy again and can play third base. They feel like that he just solidifies that position, along with the fact of how well he's hitting the ball. His first 3 hits were home runs, but they really did miss his defense at third, just like they missed Jose Iglesias' defense at shortstop for a while.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Rock, it's an interesting situation right now. Every team has these expanded taxi squads, but the Orioles are just heading down the road to Washington tonight. How are they handling this road series?
Yeah, I have to keep writing down these rules, Brett, so I remember them. It's so confusing. Technically, they can have a taxi squad. They're the road team. It's increased to 5 players, but they're not using one right now. And basically, the way it's been explained by Brandon Hyde is the Bowie training camp site, the summer camp site, is basically the taxi squad. They have plenty of guys there. They're commuting back and forth. They're not staying in D.C. So if they do need a player, they can just bring the guy from Prince George's Stadium and have them come to D.C. with them. So they're going to go ahead and resist adding 5 guys, which would have included a catcher, which would have given them 4. And I think one of those new rules this year is whoever has the most catchers automatically qualifies for the playoffs. So I'm going to look that up. But they don't have a taxi squad right now. However, they did add 2 guys to their 60-man player pool, speaking of Bowie. Gunnar Henderson, the second-round pick last year, the shortstop. And surprise inclusion, left-hander Brian Gonzalez, who was their third-round pick, but their first choice in 2014 after they forfeited those first 2 picks to sign Ubaldo Jimenez and Nelson Cruz. They've both been added. Henderson for developmental purposes. Gonzalez is a lefty in camp who might be able to maybe come up, even though he's basically been pitching at single and double A and converted to relief, but a guy who maybe could fill a spot for them later this summer if they need it, especially without Richard Blyer. You're left-handed, you have a shot now. So they did make those 2 moves today. No taxi squad.
Yeah, Rock, after the offensive struggles versus the Marlins this past week here at Camden Yards, I know a few fans were wondering, as they have been, and I know you've been asked this just a few times, when are we going to see Ryan Mountcastle in Baltimore?
Who? Oh, Ryan Mountcastle. Yes, it's been a while since I've been asked about him. You know, there is still no timetable, and I know some people don't believe that, but it is true. They don't have a firm date for him. It's got nothing to do with the service clock. We already know that. That time has passed. They really do feel like, I've been talking to some people about it again recently, that he's getting very valuable instruction over at Bowie. They don't have, obviously, games to play competitively against other teams, but they've got scrimmages, inter-squad type games. He's getting a lot more one-on-one instruction than he would have gotten if they did have a minor league season this year. He's working out every day in left field. He's getting a lot of reps working on correct routes to take, glove position, his throws, the spin he's getting on the ball, on his throws, and also obviously plate discipline, increase the walks, decrease the strikeouts. And as someone told me down there, he's getting a lot more at-bats right now on a daily basis than he'd be getting playing for Norfolk. I mean, they're playing these inter-squads. They don't have a lot of players down there, so that lineup turns over a lot. He could get 8, 9, 10 at-bats a game. So they want to keep working on these things, this individualized instruction, all the data that's available. And when they feel like he's ready to come up, then they will bring him up. And they don't want him to be on that yo-yo. They don't want him riding that shuttle that so many guys have done. When he's up, they want him to be able to stay up. And yes, they want to be able to give him left field and not DH him.
Yeah, certainly one of the more fascinating storylines this year for the Orioles. Rock Kabako of MASNsports.com. Rock, thank you so much, and enjoy the game tonight in Washington.
Thank you.